Hello, hello, does this work? Hello, hello? Here we go. Hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going? Audio sounds good. Awesome. Hey, Anthony, how's it going? Hey, Kevin. Still haven't switched your YouTube channel back to, like, the other one? Okay. So I hope this is all good. My OBS has been going back and forth saying, like, a lot of dropped frames. So we will see. Um, But otherwise, we'll just keep on going and see how it goes. So if I start to like stutter or anything happens, just let me know in the chat and then I can hopefully look at it after that. Okay, so today, this is the 19th stream of this expense tracker series, which is actually a lot. Oh, Kevin, your YouTube premium is on that? That's funny. So yeah, this is the 19th stream, which basically means that I've been doing this for at least 19, it was almost 19 weeks straight for a while. It was like 8 weeks straight or something, and then took a break, and then now we're here, and now it's at 19. So we have been building an expense tracker application. So I have been making this using Swift with Swift UI, and using the backend, we are using Vapor. So that is a server-side Swift framework, and that's pretty much it. I originally started using iOS, and iPadOS was what I was going to develop for, because I did want to make this a Mac app, but at the time when I started this, the macOS Ventura was still in beta, and I was not going to move my computer to a beta because I don't have, like, you know, an extra Mac lying around. So in case anything happened to this computer while it was in beta, something could have happened, plus OBS may not work like super well. So because of that, I just decided to do iOS, iPadOS first, and then that's where we started. But now we're almost at WWDC again this year, so we're gonna get a new round of betas and everything. So I may start streaming something else and then still like continue to work on this in the background. But yeah, this has been fun. We're at 19. That's insane. So let's just get started. Here is where we left off last time. I'm going to move this there. So I use this tool called Linear to keep track of all the tasks that I have going. So this is what we had. We needed to create and read expenses, and we actually did end up doing this, but we were having some issues with the JSON encoder and decoder because we needed to set it to ISO 8601, and that was struggling. And I have to sneeze. Oh no. Maybe. Okay, so we were doing that, and hang on. Is the music like still in the background? Like, can you still hear it? There we go. So we were doing that was posting a new expense to the backend from the iOS app. Yes, awesome. Hey Ben, how's it going? We did that, and we were having so many issues with this JSON encoder and decoder, and oh my gosh, it was actually very annoying because why it just didn't work after so long, I could not get forever. And then I finally ended up dropping the question in the Vapor Discord. And actually, let me switch it back to me real quick, and I'm gonna open, oh gosh. I'm gonna open Discord, but I don't know how it's gonna open, and plus it's probably gonna like try to run updates or something. Yeah, it's literally still starting. Come on, Discord. System booting. Yeah. Okay. We are in streamer mode. Stay safe, friend. I will try my best, Discord. Okay, so here was what I was doing. So I asked the question, somebody responded, but I didn't really understand what their answer was, and then this was in then a thread within Discord. So if you're ever working with Vapor, ask questions in their Discord, because the Discord is like the best place to find answers, as opposed to Stack Overflow, or I think this with Forums has a Vapor channel. But yeah, here. So this person said, this is an example of Vapor route. Returns a string, but Vapor doesn't do much if you take the example. Because they saw my profile picture as a unicorn, so they made a struct called unicorn. Then to the hello/unicorn route, it returns unicorn. And another simplified example that will automatically encode using the custom settings is this. So this automatically, when we return this object, because it conforms to content, it automatically gets encoded to JSON, which is great. Okay. I had my stream running like in front of me, and I might just turn it off. It lags behind a little, and it probably slows down my internet because I'm trying to stream up and down at like the same time. Okay, so here I wasn't making that connection that like this would automatically be encoded into JSON. So here was what I was trying to do, was create an expense, save it, encode it, and then use client response and return that as like a 201. And then they had said, Gwen then came in and said this. Ooh, her picture moves. Came in and said, oh, you can just do expense request.content.decode. Actually, we've been doing that. But then try await expense.encode response for created with request. So if we just went here, we just have let expense like encode the expense that we're trying to save to the database, or sorry, decode that expense, save it to the database, and then when we want to return that expense, we literally just have to do return expense encode response. And because we're using like this expense object, it's a Fluent object, and it conforms to content. And with that, we can just encode it. We can return our response of 201 immediately like this with .created. And that's it. It was just one line. So instead of me having to write out this whole thing, we just needed one line. And because we're using encode response, that is now using from the configure function. If I re-enable this, actually, this would now be using my custom encoder and decoder that I had set. And that was all we needed. So I haven't even tested this yet. Did she say anything else? That one line is a shorthand for creating a response object and then encoding that response object and returning a response. And then said client response is used with client, which is for making requests to other servers. So not for returning a request from our server. Then this person showed a whole helper thing that they had made, which Gwen was like, yeah, that's pretty much the same thing as what encoded response is. And then when you say thanks, there's a little penny bot that gives you little coins, which is fun. And then that's pretty much about it. So I'm gonna close Discord. So let's run this and see what happens, because I haven't ran it yet. This was last week. Last week I had asked this too. Like I had figured this out by like last week or right after the stream and still haven't done anything yet. So let's run that, which I'm guessing actually we need to start Docker compose. Yeah, the error is that it can't connect to the database because it's not running. Okay, now it's running. So now if we run it. There we go. It's running. And let's run the iOS app. And let's try this. Here we go. So here's the bunch of examples, and eventually I should probably go and delete some of these. Let's create a new expense. Let's save sure to today. Checking. Credit card. That doesn't actually even make sense. This is going to work. If we hit add, we scroll down. There we go. It worked. Look at that. I don't have sound effects. That's like the next thing I need to add to my stream is when something works, I need a sound effect. Oh no, people are texting me. Okay, there we go. So everything we were doing last stream for the entire hour, we just did. In about like 5 seconds. Okay, so let's go ahead and commit that from Vapor Discord. I'll take that comment out, we don't really need it. But we do want to remember how we did this, because we should probably do that exact same thing for probably all of the other routes, honestly. Actually, we are probably going to need to do that, so that's probably the next thing we should do. Okay, let's do this. Git commit. Set ISO a wait, is it 8601? 8601. What is that? ISO 8601. Excuse me. Oh man, got allergies. Okay, I'm better now. Hopefully. I haven't even gone outside. How can I have allergies when I'm still like in my house? JSON encoder and decoder. There we go. Set and fix create expense. Awesome. But how has everyone else's morning been? My morning just started. I woke up and literally started streaming and was even late to doing that because I woke up late. How's everybody else's morning going? Ben, same. Yeah, I literally, that's pretty much why I ran late, was I literally got out of bed 15 minutes ago. And you have meds that are making you tired as hell. I feel that. Yeah, it has been a rough week, honestly. So that's that. But hopefully then we will have a nice relaxing weekend and it will be better. Vince, you woke up at 7 a.m. Do you always wake up at 7 a.m.? And also the better question, to wake up at 7 a.m., what time do you go to bed at? Okay, we did this. Yay. Done. Finally. And then technically, oh yeah, this was the other thing. We wanted to return the proper error codes because I had written this down like a little bit ago. Can I make this smaller? So there we go. So you can't see all my other projects because they have funny names. Look at this. I wrote this 5 months ago, probably actually because that was one of the last things I wrote before my little hiatus. But let's, just go ahead and fix all of these. So we need to fix the response code for expenses. Excuse me. Which I believe we have done. So we have expense, if we have update. I was already kind of doing this. Return expense. Delete. Yeah, expense controller looks good. So let's check expenses. Let's do income. Okay, so here. Oh, I was just returning income. Oh yeah, because when you return income like this, it will return as a 200, not a 201. I should go to bed around 11, but often do around 12. Nice. Actually, that makes sense. That's like 7 hours of sleep. But if you go to bed at 11, that's 8 hours. That's pretty good. Because, yeah, I did not go to bed early. I went to bed at like 1:30, I think, last night. On accident. Then you wake up between 5 and 6, ideally for a run, but you go to sleep at around 10 to 11. Also from Belgium, so it's 4:30 p.m. Oh, that makes sense. Well, thank you for joining me all the way from Belgium. That's another reason why I try to stream in the morning, my time, because it's Eastern time, so it's like 10:30 a.m. right now, is because I can catch everybody who's like in Europe because it's like the afternoon/evening if I stream earlier in the morning, as opposed to streaming like later at night. So the only people I really leave out are like in America, like California time, pretty much. I need to go to bed early. I was able to figure out how to do that when I was traveling on Pacific time, so that's 3 hours 3 hours after. No, oh my gosh. 3 hours before. Oh my gosh, I can't do time right now. No, it is 3 hours. It's not before, but it's earlier. Yeah, oh my gosh. Hey Paul, how's it going? Yes, at the moment I am on Eastern time. I am at home, which is why I have my whole setup. I have a green screen and everything. So I'm in Indiana, which is like relatively close to Chicago for anybody who's wondering. But not for long, because I will be in California soon for Dub Dub, which then I will be back on Pacific time. Did anybody get a golden ticket to WWDC? I didn't. Time zone is an issue not only for our code base. Yo, it is very much an issue. Oh my goodness. That took me like 10 seconds to figure out which time zone everything is. Paul said Dub Dub. You have a ticket, don't you? I believe you do. Spends. What I was looking at. This. That's a magical golden ticket. Okay, so we wanted to write the same thing. Return, try, await, income dot encode response dot created. Whoops. Oh, we're using the wrong initializer. Response. This. Async. Dot created for request. We'll watch WWDC from home with school or work. You can't move. That makes sense. Plus, honestly, you get a better experience watching it from home because, you know what was funny was last year, people who had a ticket to Dub Dub, they had to watch it like in Apple Park, like with no, with like no shade, so they were like all outside, so they were all just like baking outside, versus I was out there with iOS Dev Happy Hour, and we rented out a movie theater. So we watched Dub Dub in a movie theater with air conditioning and snacks and everything. And I think we really won out of everybody who actually got a ticket, because we were comfortable and everybody else was like frying. Fruit. Wow, my allergies are killing me this morning. You flew from the Philippines to Belgium with 7 hours difference, and the week after deep dish with another 7 hours. You don't know what time it is anymore. Oh man, yeah, that's a lot. Yes, that I have done. That is really what that is time traveling, and I've totally done that before. And yeah, that's a lot. Especially you, Philippines to Belgium. You went back 7 hours too, which what is it? It's harder going east to west than west to east, because you're like going back in time rather than going forwards in time. You're living in France? Nathan, where do you live in France? I am going to the Swift Connection conference that's in Paris. So I will be in France, like the country. I will be in France later this year. How's the job market for iOS devs with tech layoffs? With all the layoffs, I think the big thing with them is you hear them very loudly, as opposed to you don't hear people bragging about or even saying, hey, I still have my job and I feel secure. So you just hear people say, hey, I got laid off, a lot louder than you hear other people don't say that. But overall, the tech layoffs have affected a lot of people, for sure. And iOS dev-wise, it's always a smaller pool of jobs no matter what, because the iOS dev market is really small as compared to other developer markets. Like, there's way more web dev jobs than there are iOS dev jobs. Ooh, you are currently in... Where is that? I don't know where that is, because I don't know geography. So with tech layoffs, a lot of what you have to kind of do... Oh, cool. Whoa, that changed. A lot of what you have to do is kind of just keep applying for jobs. It's still not as bad as when it was like the very beginning of 2020, when the pandemic like very first started. That was like literal zero, like cease hiring. But I do know people are still hiring. So the job market, yes, it's not amazing like it has been previously, but you can still find things. It's all about just like having a good writing a good resume and writing a good resume and just like applying for a lot of jobs still. So I'm in this state, Indiana. It's right by Chicago. And then Nathan, you are in Mulhouse, France. And I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. I probably am. Oh, okay. Cool. So I'll be in Paris, which is very far. But I need to figure out my travel plans, because I do want to stay there longer than like, a 2-day conference. So I may stay longer. We will see. I need to figure out those travel plans, but that will not happen until probably after Dub Dub, which I will be in California, way over here. Here's Cupertino. Somewhere is the circle. Where is it? There it is. The infinite loop. You can actually see it better on there, or actually this one. That's Apple Park, the loop, or the circle, spaceship. You can, see it better on whatever view this is, the map view, versus the one. It's 3 hours from you. Oh, that's not bad. I would take a train. Nice. I didn't know this whole thing turned blue. Also, because I forget to say it every stream, if anyone has been enjoying my stream, be sure to like this video. But if you would like to support me, you can buy me a coffee. And if you buy me a coffee while I'm on stream, then it pops up over there. So I appreciate it if you do that. If not, that is totally fine. You can just like this video instead. Oh man. Okay, so we have returned a new response code for income. What else? We need to do account and categories. Let's open that one. Category. What is the line we're writing? Return, try, await, category. Yeah, encode response. Created for request. Is that right? Encode response. Yeah. And here we want to return a response rather than... Aw, thank you, Nathan. Oh wow, good timing. You did that right when the music like ended. Okay, so there we go. We have returning response here, and thank you, I appreciate it. Last one is this one. Create account. We want to return try await account dot encode response dot created for request, and then we return a response. So we need to double check this all still works. I believe it does. Actually, we haven't even coded iOS side for this, so that's okay. So let's stop this and check it, but also I'm gonna switch over to here real quick because I'm opening Postman, which I have like a bunch of different collections all within Postman, and I'm not sure which one will show up. Okay, that's fine. So let's move back over here. Okay, so let's run this, and it will connect to our database that I have running locally in Docker on my computer. And then in Postman, we've checked create expense, we can do post income. So let's make a new income category, or not, oh, this is posting a new income thing. Let's make a new category first. So is archive false? Let's call this category. What would be income? What's one I haven't used yet? Oh, we haven't done anything. I don't even know what's in the database then. So let's say we would get income from, let's make a category called Nathan. So if I click send, there we go. We got back a new category with its new ID. It is an income category, and it's all just income from Nathan. But the important thing is we got back 201, because that is what this is right here. Is we are specifically saying return 201, which is a created endpoint, versus all different ones here, like bad requests, I think it's like 400, conflict, all sorts of stuff. You can log the coffee there. Great idea. Let's do that. Because that's the next thing, was income. We needed to use... We need that ID. Yes, so we have that. This is income. So we don't actually need probably all of this. I think I may be doing this in Postman. We'll find out. The account... I assume that's probably working. Let's say Nathan's coffee. Invoice number does not matter, actually. Invoice date. See, I did this last year, so it is now the 5th. The day is almost right, 19. And then date paid, let's just copy that. Oops. And it was probably 5. So it's 500 because I'm doing this as an integer number. So if we hit send, there we go. There is our new income, and we get 201 created, which is good. That was the goal. Awesome. The last one was account. If we do post accounts. Ooh, do I not specify if an account is... No, I don't specify if it's like, I was thinking like an account specific to like income or expense, but that's fine. We have investment. What's another account you may have? Rainy day. Let's just say sunny day. You have a sunny day account. So if we do that, oh, haha, look, the cancel button doesn't work. We should fix that. But if we hit send here, we get 201, which is the goal, but then also we can see here, because we fetch it, sunny day is right there. Awesome. Use Vapor a lot now, but you're still testing Ktor, which is a Kotlin equivalent. Ooh. With Kotlin multi-platform to share logic between your iOS and Android apps. Yeah, I have not used Kotlin multi-platform before. I know some of my coworkers have, but I did not know that there was a Kotlin equivalent of like a server-side thing. That's cool. I'm gonna close all those. We don't need to save them. And I'm gonna just move this over here. Cool. So all of those work, which is great. I feel like this stream is so much more productive. We did categories, we did account. Ooh, return the proper response for updating endpoint. What is the proper response? Look at expenses create function. That's not right anymore. In the iOS app, it handles send data on line 44 of networking. Don't ignore data and check that we got the object back. I don't know if we're doing that. Of networking. Oh, that's here. Line 44. That's almost here. I don't know what I was talking about there, so we're just going to delete it and we will find out if we run into it later. And return the proper response code for updating. I don't know which one that is, so we're just going to say return proper response codes for creating. And we will call this done. Look how productive this stream has been. So, what do we do next? Let's commit what we were doing. Which would be all of these. Git add, git commit. When creating different objects. Use Vapor. Ooh, is this on production? That's a good question. Is it in production yet? Is it just called Ktor? Is that how you pronounce it? Ooh, it's in production here. Let's look it up. There's a perfume called Ktor. That's funny. Is it this? It looks like this. No, manage settings. Accept selected. Create asynchronous client and server applications. Anything from microservices to multi-platform HTTP client apps in a simple way. Open source, free and fun. I don't know why I read it like that. That's just how I imagine it was read. Nettie. That's funny. Hey Hendrik, how's it going? How's your day? Yeah, long time no see. I have been on hiatus for a while, and then very last minute last night I decided to stream. So, ooh, built and backed by JetBrains. Brought to you by JetBrains, the creators of IntelliJ, Kotlin, and more. Nice. Cool. One day I'm gonna learn Kotlin. I don't know when. But one day I'll do Android. Don't know when that day will be though. Going good, going good. We've actually gotten a lot done in this stream. It's crazy. A lot more than last time because we haven't gotten stuck on anything yet. So we have been able to create expenses. Oh, we need to fix the cancel button on that screen. Where was that? Network manager, the form view, here it is. Where is cancel? Here's cancel. Let's just do a good old... Oh, we have var dismiss. We just need to call dismiss. And I don't think the server is running. No, because I stopped it. So let's start that. Never too late to start. No, I'll get to it sometime. I just don't want to right now because iOS development is still super fun. So if we hit cancel, there we go. We cancel it. Nice. So that's done. Let's commit that one line. Cancel, what is this called? Expense form view. Okay, so we did that. What was the other thing we should do that makes this do things? We could code delete. You just love to reuse models from backend in the app share between two apps. Yeah, it's super nice, except when you need to make some kind of server change, and then you have to like also update the iOS app at the same time. Otherwise, they're like out of sync. Like if you share the exact same models between them, so like you modify a model or even like change or delete one, that starts to get a lot harder for me to like understand how you go about everything. Ooh, look at that. Here's all these categories. We could have done this to see all of our categories. Yeah, because this works when we went to do those three. Ooh, we should test these actually. Let's do this. Create income category. What's an income category? Let's say coffee. Create. There it is. Coffee. Do you have any other tips and tricks for getting a good freelance gig other than using Upwork? Yeah, so all of my freelance has come from people I know, which is what a lot of freelancers do because it's all about building a network. So instead of, fishing for clients that are like cold, meaning like Upwork where people don't know you and you don't know them, I have gotten freelance projects from people I know. So it's already somebody who like trusts me or knows me, and so then getting that project is a lot like simpler than getting, or it's a lot easier to convert a warm client versus somebody who's a cold client. Okay, so if we did income categories and that worked, I'm sure the rest of them will work, most likely. Oh hey, K Bold Merlin, thank you for the coffee as well. I appreciate it. It's not K, it's Kobold. That's what it is. Thank you. I'm trying to think of what to do next. We do need to do this. We need to do update and delete. Whoops. We need to do update and delete for accounts. Let's probably just set these... Update and delete accounts. We'll set this on medium, as in that's probably the next thing to do. Whoa, where'd it go? Why does it go to the bottom? I feel like if it's priority, it should go to the top. Yeah, ordering is by priority, but it orders the priority. This was urgent. It's still at the bottom. That's weird. I would think this should like go to the top or something. Okay, I guess we're gonna look at them all at the bottom. So we need update and delete accounts. Update and delete should probably be all the next things. Error handling. We'll do that at some point. Medium. So here's all the next things. We have update and delete for income, expense, account categories. I think, are those all the 4 endpoints that I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. Which one do we want to do? Let's start with accounts. So it would be, if you go to settings, you click on one of these. Actually, we may be able to implement all of these at once, because these are all just names. I think we can do all these at once, and we may not have to do them all separately. No, we still have to implement each one separately, because we'll have to know which endpoint we're on. And these are 3 different lists, I believe. Let's check, because I honestly have no clue. Because I wrote this code so long ago, I just don't even know. Okay, this is in settings. Settings view model, settings view. Oh yeah, there's the view model. Yeah, we have categories, accounts, and categories and accounts. And then, yeah, we split those like that. Okay. Let's, do accounts first, because that one will be the easiest, because it's more isolated. Okay, I'm just gonna move this over here. Okay, update and delete accounts. So that's if we're down here, we want to be able to click on it and then it pops up the form again. Which, what is that form? Huh, there's a create category view model that's not being used. Oops. Huh, I wonder what that was for. Create category, account view. Okay, if this view model is not being used, let's just, okay, wait. Go ahead and just delete that for now, because who knows why it was there. And create category account. Okay, so that view is definitely this one, because I think, yeah, that says income. If we click on expense, it says expense, and then if we click on this says account. And it's pretty much the exact same view. Or it is the same view. And then we're changing probably the words, depending on what we're doing. So we do want to go in settings. Let's look up, because I don't know how, swipe actions. I'll drop my Buy Me a Coffee link, because I usually do when I open this window. So if you're enjoying my stream, you can buy me a coffee and it'll show up over there on the screen, like as I'm streaming. But if not, you can go ahead, just like this video if you like it. And I appreciate it, because I'm slowly trying to build my YouTube channel, kinda, sorta, as in I've mostly been doing streaming because I haven't had time to actually make real videos. So that's what my channel is so far. So we need to do a swipe action Swift UI. Ooh, there's a blog post right there. Interesting, the blog post that came up was like way down there, but there you go. And there's a Hacking with Swift article. add custom swipe actions to a list row. Are we using a list? We are. Then we also have use your loaf. These are probably gonna both tell us they're the same thing, but let's go ahead anyways. Okay, so, oh, interesting. We add a dot swipe actions to as a modifier. Oh, I did not know that. Okay, so that one has swipe actions, leading, trailing. You have a button roll of destructive. Okay, you can do allows full swipe. And then we can specifically specify leading or trailing. But if we don't, I think by default it was trailing. So let's do this on accounts. And it's a button with a label, right? Yeah. Okay, that one said order and the tint was green. That was just the words, yeah. So, but if we had button, where was that button roll destructive? Setting. So what does that look like? Button roll destructive action label. Oh, okay. So if we have delete and let's print delete and rerun this. So if we go to settings, we don't have one on here or here, but we do have one there. Look at that. Oh, wait, did that actually do something? Oh man, look at that. So this is actually already, is it because it's the roll destructive? That just deleted all the accounts, except it deleted them in memory. So if we go back, they're still there. Interesting. Oh, I didn't expect that. Okay, cool. Now all we have to do is actually implement the delete. So let's mostly call a view model, which is the settings view model. And let's do create category and func. Whoa, that is spelled wrong. Func delete account. Oh my gosh, ACCOU. I was like looking at the word action and account at the same time. Account. Oh my gosh. ACCO account. There we go. So, how do we want to delete an account? So, our network manager has create account, but we don't have any deletes yet because we need our HTTP client. Not that one. Hang on. Network manager. Here. No, it's we don't need. Actually, we probably do need a new HTTP client to delete. Because if we go to account controller, I'm gonna close half of these. Account controller and then go to delete. What we're technically doing is not actually deleting, we are actually doing a put request. I believe. Yeah. No. Yeah. Oh my gosh. We're doing a put request to actually update it to just say, I thought we were gonna actually update this, say is archived, but we are totally not doing that. Um, if we look at the model for account, nope, we just have account and we're just straight up deleting it. Did I want to do that? I probably did. I did that for a reason, so that you could technically archive things, or they would technically be archived more so than deleted, but the archive meant that we were actually, we just wouldn't see them on the front end anymore. But here we are doing a real delete. Do I want to do that though? What do we think? Should we really delete accounts, or we do is archived for category? We have an is archived. Expense, we can actually like full on delete an expense. Income, yeah, we're totally deleting one. Then the example to do. Because if we delete an account, I'm trying to think what that'll do. Oh, hey. Kayla, getting after it. Keep up the grind. Hope Xcode runs extra speedy for you today. Hey, Dave. How's it going? Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm trying to think how I want to do this, because how I originally built some of this, I think is like no longer how I want to continue building some of it. So I was doing an update or delete. So if we go to the expense tracker here, we have income categories, which don't mind all the testing ones. We have expense categories, but then now we have accounts. So if we wanted to like delete an account, like delete this one, it's deleting it in memory right now. But I need to decide, do I actually want to full on delete an account? Because what happens when you have expenses or income attached to that account? Because with the categories, I'm actually going to archive them with like a Boolean. But do I want to still do that? I don't know. I feel like we should archive them, because that's like what we do with other things. And also with archiving, if I ever wanted to create some kind of update where like they could combine things, like say they accidentally made an income category or some kind of category, then they deleted it, then they added a different one, and then eventually they wanted to go back and like reconcile them all back together. You could technically do that if I archive everything with a Boolean rather than full on delete it. So I want to say I'm probably actually going to make a new Boolean and archive this rather than full on delete it. Because yeah, that's what this did, and then this is delete, use delete, but category, we have a put, and then we create the function, we called it archive. I'm like tired almost. I must not want to work on this right now. It is still fun, but I also want this project to be done because I know Dub-Dub's coming up, and I feel like I may be then creating stuff with Dub-Dub videos, and this series could be, not the end, but the last one for like a hot minute. But this has been going on for so long. Like, we are on the 19th video on this. This is like a majority of what my channel has been this live stream. So really though, I appreciate everybody who has been here and everybody who's bought me all the coffees. This has been so fun. And I'm talking like this is over, but I think I'm just tired. Okay, what do we want to do? Do we want to delete an account, or let's archive accounts? But to archive an account, that means we need to make a new model. Not a new model, we need to update this model. Yeah, mad props to consistency. It is quite commendable. Oh, thank you so much. It's been wild, because really, 19 is so many. What would the next thing be after the expense tracker app? Ooh, oh man. I do want to do a tutorial series for Vapor because all of my tutorials are actually on Code with Chris's channel. And if you look at that channel, yo, there are like 20,000 views on that first video. And I was like, oh man, that's more of like anything I've had in my life is 20,000. Yeah, so because of that, I want to make a Vapor series of some sort, maybe, so that, like, I can direct people to my channel rather than to his, even though, like, that was a great opportunity to be able to make that series, too, because I made that, like, before I even had my unicorn hat. That's how long ago it was. Which is crazy to think of. Let's copy this whole thing. But what would the next thing be? Honestly, I have one of my apps is called Job Application Tracker, which I can throw up on the computer. So I made this app back when I was still learning. When I was learning iOS development, I had made this. Oh, Nathan, you remember that? Oh, yeah. Oh, I think we connected on Instagram, didn't we, for the first time? Oh, wow. Copy. That's funny. Oh my gosh, open the App Store, of course. But this is the application called Job Application Tracker. And what I did was, oh, that's funny, it shows the iPad view. I could totally, for one, I could port this to Mac, which I think would be really useful. But then if we look at the iPhone screenshots, I think there's like one more screenshot here. Yeah, you track your job applications. So it doesn't look amazing on iPad because if you can't tell, so this is really funny. The buttons on the top are just anchored to be half the screen. So like, Ben, which one would you watch? Sorry, I've been talking about a lot of things. Which part are you talking about? I love to make tutorials as well, but you have too many projects going on. Yes, same, Nathan. But yeah, if you look at this, so the top of the bottom of these buttons, this is centered at the y-axis. So I was only gonna release this for iPhone, and then I was like, you know, let me just run it on iPad and see how it looks. And it looks like this. It's not terrible. It's not amazing, but it's not terrible. And the iPhone was what I really originally designed this for, so it looks way better. But okay, but see, it looks so good on iPhone, and it actually looks good on iPhone for what is it, for a tiny like iPhone SE, but also like for the Pro Max and everything, because this is just anchored like right in the middle, and then this is a table view for below it, and it just has dark mode, and there's just 3 screenshots. This app still gets downloads, which I can drop the link to this if anybody would like to check it out. I would appreciate it. But this app still gets downloads, and I made it like when I was still a beginner. The code is like hurts my brain to look at now, but I would love to go and update this and like actually try to make money off of this application and possibly do some kind of series Similar to, I don't know if anybody follows Sean Allen. He is doing a full-on podcast series, which I probably will not do that. But he is doing a series now called Podcasts, Build, Ship, Profit. And this is showing how he's trying to make money off of his app called Creator View. And I think this would also be like super fun to do something like this. Aw, Nathan, you downloaded it on June 9th of 2020. Aw, thank you. That's crazy. How do you see that date? Oh, that's so fun. And you know what's funny about this too is I actually have only ever ran this in the simulator because I use what is called Google AdMob to show ads in the application. And because of that, Google AdMob, like, I have to show test ads, and if I show test ads on my real device, it will then sometimes think my device is like forever a test device. So if I ended up downloading the real application on my phone, I could then get like some strike or something because I'm showing like real ads on a test device, which they like prevent you from doing to like to prevent like you not stealing money, but like spoofing them kind of way for doing that, of showing real ads on a test device. They don't want you doing that because you could like get money out of it technically. We decided to only release our app at work, iPhone only, but after a while we heard that lots of people kept downloading it on their iPad. We decided to make it look nice on iPad too. Yeah, that's something I would really want to do, is like go back into this code base. Also, right, I decided to just use SQLite for this. Oh, that's a good question to ask people right now. This is so off topic from this expense tracker, but it's fine. So I decided to use SQLite for the backend for this application because I just wanted to try SQLite. There was no other reason other than that. But now all the data is on SQLite on the device. So if you delete the app and download it again, all your data is gone. So the next thing I really want to do with this is like have real accounts, so like actual cloud accounts. So if you delete it and download it again, you wouldn't have that issue. But to do that, that means I have to move the data out of SQLite or sync it in SQLite in some kind of way. Ooh, you love SQLite. Nathan, please tell me, what would you recommend for, the data's all in SQLite right now. What would be the best way you would recommend for moving the data either out of SQLite or somehow syncing that SQLite data to the cloud? What would you say? And then Ben, going back to watching Vapor tutorials, yeah, I really do want to do that. I do have one video now on my channel of deploying Vapor to fly.io. I tried to follow my own video, honestly, and lately that has not been building, and I've had a few comments on that also not building. But I think that's more of a fly issue more than my tutorial issue, because I gave a talk at the Server-Side Swift conference that was in London last year, and that was a recording of my talk there, which was super fun. And yeah, I do want to do more in-depth Vapor tutorials. Oh, Ben, oh my gosh, you bought me 5 coffees? Thank you so much. I appreciate that a lot. See, this is where I need a sound effect. I need a sound effect to say that, like, horn that's like blaring, the beep beep boo. That one. I need that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it a lot. So that is something I'm gonna do, though, is make a Vapor tutorial, because I think that could be fun. Because like my Vapor series on Code with Chris's channel is good, but it's very basic. So it's like once you've watched that, the next step could be like my tutorial or something. By now, Mohammed Azam, he just released a Vapor series. He has a lot of courses on Udemy, udemy.com. If you think that's the case, it's better to use core data, Vapor Azam. So Ben, if you have seen, it's most likely this one. Wow, why is this not loading for me? It's this, yeah, Mohammed Azam. And it's like most Udemy stuff, it's on sale right now, but he also just launched this. So if you go to this, yeah, this guy, he's really cool. I've met him as well. This is also a good series that you could probably watch. He just created this one, like literally 0 ratings, because like he came out with this like yesterday or so. But his Vapor series was one of the first ones I had checked out as well. But then Nathan, if you think that's the case, it's better to use core data because it's the same API for local and CloudKit storage. So you sync data easily between both of them. But the data is also stored on the server. So Hendrik, the answer to your question right now for this application, it is not stored on the server. So this, when you create one of these applications, it is only on the device. So if you delete the app and download it again, you would lose everything, which I'm surprised nobody has complained about, honestly. But then, Nathan, I could use core data because it's the same API. What do you mean? Like, it'll work in the same way, or can I connect core data to, like, the already existing SQLite database? Is that a thing? Because, yeah, it's core data or /iCloud or Vapor is my dilemma. I'm going to delay my decision till after DubDub. Oh, I feel that in my bones because, oh man, that's the thing. I think a lot of people are hinting at a certain thing coming out at DubDub. So if it does, I will totally be doing something with that. I'm going to download the betas and I will be doing that. Hendrik, sorry, we're not talking about the expense track right now. We're talking about my job tracker application that I had created like forever ago. But yes, Hendrik, though, about the expense tracker, because, you know, that is what this stream is about. Right now, yes, it is all cloud-based. So once all of these values are only fetched from the cloud, so like you would have to have an internet connection. But honestly, with this kind of stuff, like if you're making some kind of expense tracker, and the purpose for that I made it originally was for freelancers. Most freelancers do have access to internet, and like the freelancers I'm targeting are people with like internet businesses, meaning they have to have access to the internet, so it's not really an issue to need to have any local and cloud syncing. So yes is the answer for that one, but my job application tracker, I had made this with SQLite on the device, basically just for fun. But now I need to figure out how to get the data out of there to do something else with it. So you mean you have the same objects, you can save them both without converting things, like having common interface? Yeah, so if the data is already in SQLite right now, is it possible to just connect core data so that I can use those APIs? Or do I still have to take the data out of core data, out of SQLite, move it to core data, and then I can use core data in CloudKit, or can I immediately like use the core data APIs with the already existing SQLite database? Would be like kind of the question. And Ben, am I looking to do a full indie dev at some point? Honestly, I would love to do that if I could, but you know, my day job makes way more money than my indie apps do at the moment. So until I would make enough money to, I think Ivars Myers, if you follow him, Ivars Meyer, M-E-I, this person. Actually, I can also look up his YouTube channel. Oh, is that right? It is right. Okay. Oh gosh. This guy, if you follow him, he does indie development and also does freelance as his full-time job. But now his indie apps have made more than his freelance work as of late. So he's been debating if he's going to switch. He's going to stay, I believe, freelance for the rest of this year, but that seems super fun and I would love to do that, but my stuff does not make anywhere near enough money to do that yet. So I'd have to keep my day job for now. You follow him as well? I know everyone in this community. Yeah, the iOS dev community is super small. But you think it's worth it to move because then it's all easier. Yes, that seems to be the reasoning, the logic is I should probably move all the data is most likely what's going to happen. And then it's like Slopes, it takes a few years. Yes, Slopes, that's such a good target market that he has because people who go snowboarding and skiing, which I have recently done, they already spend a ton of money. So spending like $25 a year on an app is like nothing, especially for what you get out of it. I have Slopes downloaded, and I've also met Curtis as well. And I've gone snowboarding actually with Curtis before. That app is amazing. And I would love to make something like that. That seems so cool. Yeah, his videos are really cool. I would love to meet him in person as well. I'm going, ooh, here, let's look at a map because I don't know geography. He is in Latvia, but that's way over here, right? Yeah. And I'll be in Paris. So going from Paris to Latvia would be a very far. I think that seems very far. Maybe it's not as far as I'm thinking. That would be a very far trip, but maybe. We will see. If I go to Paris, never come back to the US. That'd be funny. That talk was a mind-blowing feeling. Ben, did we meet while we were at Deep Dish? Did we talk to each other? Feel closer to come see me. Yeah, Nathan, it is closer. I totally could, because I would love to go. I would love to travel around Europe, so I do need to plan it, because it could totally be I go to Europe and don't come back for several months. Could 100% happen. His keyboard review videos are always make me want to buy a new keyboard. Yes, I wanted to do a review of my keyboard because there's not many of them. For anybody who doesn't know, oops, sorry, moving the microphone. I use a split mechanical keyboard. So this is my keyboard. If anybody has ever not seen it, I use a split mechanical keyboard, and there's like some videos on it, but actually not a ton. And I would love to do like a review video on that, but I just like haven't gotten around to making a video. But only short together with Martin and Susie. Yes. Oh, okay. What does your picture look like? Oh, I can't click on your little image on YouTube. Okay. Do we talk on Twitter? Because, like, I remember people's, like, profile pictures or yeah, profile pictures if I already talked to them on Twitter, but it's because I can't see your image that much on YouTube because right now it's, like, super tiny. I don't remember talking to you, but if it was by Susie and Martin, yeah, we were sitting up close to the front. But it's great talking to you. Thank you for joining my stream and talking to you, like, in person. I'm sorry I don't remember. But yeah, it seems, I also, because the data model, going back sort of this, the data model of this application is so simple, I might just put it in Firebase, honestly. And just, because the thing with doing Core Data and CloudKit is good, and that's fine. I don't know CloudKit, so I'd have to learn that first before doing something, whereas I already kind of know Core Data. You don't stand out in a crowd of 300. Yeah, it's tough. And I talk to a lot of people, and then being a speaker, you end up talking to more people as well because of being a speaker and people come talk to you. So I'm sorry I don't remember talking to you, but it's okay. We'll have to talk again sometime. But yeah, it's this. I also might just do Core Data and CloudKit. Or sorry, not Core Data, CloudKit. I might just do Firebase and like no longer have a local database and let Firebase handle that. Could be another thing I do. But then, because they also have like an anonymous login versus Core Data CloudKit is super nice that you don't have a login. But if people don't use Core Data or CloudKit, then the syncing like doesn't work basically. Because that was an issue that Widgetsmith, I want to say, had, was even though he has like millions of users, but like his application, people don't use iCloud, so then they don't use CloudKit. So then like his whole syncing stuff just doesn't work. Keep a local copy in case you're not connected to the internet. Yeah, but then you have to sync the local copy to the cloud, and then when you have multiple not databases, but multiple devices, it's keeping everything in sync. It's a mobile problem. It's hard. You need access to Firebase database and offline mode. Yes. Yes, that's true. You would have to have access to the internet. Ben, you might do Paris or Swift Leads. Ah, the dilemmas. I know. I want to go to Swift Leads. I've been looking at that one too. But I don't know if I could go to Swift Leads. I'm gonna go to Swift Connection, but because that's already been decided. I don't know about also Swift Leads. I do want to, but I haven't figured out timeline-wise if I could. But also I need to take vacation, you know, just by myself and not at an iOS dev conference, because an iOS dev conference is not a vacation. We will see. So that's the dilemmas with this application, is I need to figure out what cloud database to use. And I had just thought of Firebase like the other night ago or so. But I could do that. And also the other biggest dilemma of this application was I built it in UIKit, because that's when UIKit was like, everybody liked UIKit, because now nobody likes it anymore. But that was before right before Swift UI, or right when it came out. I was still learning UIKit at the time, and is that screenshot too short? Oh my god, it is. Look at this. The screenshot is too short for this iPad. That's so funny. So this whole app is still in UIKit, so it's, do I want to switch it to Swift UI is the question. Do I want to go through that pain of switching it, or just continue to build it in UIKit and then later switch it later? Technically, it would probably make more sense to switch it now, because it's still new, or not still new, but it's at its like very basics right now, and rather than build on top of it and then switch it later when it could be harder, I could just switch it now. Maybe that's what I'll do. We'll see. Thank you for the great conversation. It's been super nice. Even, that's totally fine that I don't get some things done over here if I just like chit chat with everyone. It's so quick to switch. Do it while you have less code. Yeah, that seems to be probably what I'm going to do. Actually, I'm gonna write that. I do have that in linear as like a task. Let's see, convert to Swift UI. Let's make this a to-do, probably an urgent priority. Okay, it has been written down, moving it Swift UI. How would you switch from UIKit project to a Swift UI project? Total rewrite. Yes, most likely it would be a total rewrite. The good thing about my application, oh, I already closed it, was if you saw, it's only like 3 screens. Literally, there's a settings screen, the home screen that you saw in the screenshots, and then the create and add screen. And that's it. So yeah, given that, I should totally switch it to Swift UI because it's only 3 screens. Hey hon, how's it going? I have a meeting again. I have another meeting. That's why I stream at this time as well. I have another meeting coming up in about a half hour. So I'm gonna probably stop the stream in maybe about 15-ish minutes or so. So that gives me 15 minutes before my next meeting. We are talking about my application called Job Application Tracker, where you can track your job applications. So you know how many you've applied to and stuff like that. Yeah, should be fine to piecemeal it. Yep. Yeah, we were just talking. My application is like 3 screens. That's a great point, Nathan. I should totally just switch it now. There's 3 screens before I add anything else. Oh, hey, you've been lurking for a while. Yo, there is a song called Lurking. Hang on. And you should listen to it. It's by this guy who's a YouTuber. And it like has this crazy bass in it. Okay, make that smaller. This song. So this is my like Spotify and that's what's playing. This dude, his name is Anthony Ray. He has this song called Lurking. You should listen to it. I don't know if I can play it on Spotify, otherwise I would, but it's like rap. And that's like other things I listen to. But as you all know, my streams are all like upbeat, poppy. Technically right now, I think we're technically listening to EDM. Although this does not sound like EDM at all. Yeah, this is technically an EDM playlist, but it does not sound like it. We're gonna switch it to this. But Ben, darn Swift connection is already sold out. Oh shoot, it is already sold out. Oh, I didn't know that. Leeds it will be. Oh man, I need to look at going to Swift Leeds. I want to, because it sounds super fun. But I don't know if I will. But yeah, MN rewrite from UIKit to Swift UI. Yes. The only thing I'm not sure about, what would happen? So like here, in a Swift UI application, somewhere here, we have just an app file. In like this is the entry point to the app, and it's a struct. Then we have the window group and everything. How do you switch this stuff? Like the scene delegate and app delegate is what my current app has because, you know, it was UIKit. How do you go from that to this? Do you just rewrite it and like it just works? Or how does that work? Maybe I could do that on stream. Would that be interesting? I'll make a little poll. Where's the little button? I'll do that. Ask your community. There we go. There's a poll. I think that would be interesting. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Yes. 100%. Somebody already said it, so it's got to happen now. That's actually a really good idea. Let me honestly write this down because I will forget. Rewriting. How long would that take? Because I would love to do that in one sitting, but I feel like I'll run into something and that stream will end up being super long. But I've also already done like really long streams. I've done like a stream for like 4 hours before, which is crazy. But how long would that take to just convert 3 screens from SwiftUI or from UIKit to SwiftUI? I don't know. But that sounds super fun. Maybe I'll do that. What is my schedule like? Maybe I'll do that next week instead. Or I can totally do some things throughout the week. I just don't. I could do it the week before Dub Dub probably. Next week is also kind of busy. We will see. But you also, everyone knows who's probably here is follow me on social media, all the ones that have been rotating up there. And then that's how you'll find out when I'm streaming next, because I decide very last minute. If nothing else, if nothing special happens in the scene delegate and app delegate, maybe you could just delete them and add the main struct, but not sure. That's what I'm guessing. I don't think I have anything happening in the scene delegate, app delegate. I think the only thing is I do have Firebase Analytics in that project, which I was gonna take out, but if I use Firebase, I might as well just leave it in there. And then going to find food. Sad there is no deep dish here. See you hopefully next week or at iOS Dev Happy Hour. Yes, let me drop the link to that. iOS Dev Happy Hour. So we do have iOS Dev Happy Hour this Saturday. See ya, Ben. Have a good rest of your day or evening now. But yeah, iOS Dev Happy Hour. This will be tomorrow at 11 a.m. PDT, which is also like 2 p.m. Eastern my time. But I don't know what that is in UTC. I can't remember right now. I think it's like 1800 or something. Maybe. That's not right. I'm not sure what time that is. But yeah, that is coming up, so we can go to that, and I will see everybody there as well. You create a service for Firebase things and init Firebase when the service is created. Yes, but if my current app has an app delegate and a scene delegate, do I just like delete them and create something like this? And then just do the like proper wrapper stuff for the app delegate? I'm not really sure. That could be a thing. Let's look it up real quick. Even though we are totally not working on this expense tracker anymore, that's okay. Convert UI kit to Swift UI. And I forgot the I in SwiftUI. Here we go. Hack it with Swift article. Actually, yes. Oh, good to know. Okay. Oh, this is... I don't think I've ever been to this one. Drop in UI, but it doesn't mean... Yeah, table view is a list. Collection view is lazy vgrid and hgrid. Text is labeled. Oh, that's cool. That are exclusive to SwiftUI, such as stack view. Yeah, but there's an H stack and a V stack, and yeah, there's UI stack view. Yeah, there we go. Workable strategies. Uplift Iowa. Ooh, this guide is for you. Is this free? I can't tell. No. It's 27 euros. Oh, I know this person. This would actually probably be a good... I could see that being a good book. It's time for your team to move to SwiftUI. App requires SwiftUI production ready. Ooh, it's green. Learning curve, top challenges. The architecture, backwards compatibility. Ooh, that's the other thing. Actually, that is a whole thing for my application. I still have a straggling iOS 14 user, I think. I need to double check my analytics, but I believe it's iOS 15 I could bump it to, but I think right now it's still compatible with iOS 14, because I think that's when I built it. If we're on 16 now, I built it 3 years ago, 16, 15, 14, 13. Yeah, I built it when iOS 13 originally came out, and I think I released it at 13 and then bumped it to 14. So that is actually something I do need to look at beforehand, is double checking, bumping like everybody up, because I released a new version, and it's interesting. Hundreds of people update who apparently just have it sitting on their phone, but only like 30 people use the application since I bumped the version, or not bumped the version, but like released a new version. That is definitely something I need to look at. I am gonna write that down because bump that is something I do need to look at. Start small. We're not starting small, we're just rewriting. Oh, this is cool. What's this little thing say? Analytics. Utilize analytics. Gather usage data. Yep. Conduct a code review to identify areas of the app that are complex, outdated, or difficult to maintain. Thankfully, I don't have any of that. Prioritize low usage areas identified in steps 1 and 2. Focus on converting the most important refactor / hard to maintain UI kit because less used for the ones used, but less used for the users ones first. That makes sense. So like my first screen would probably be settings. Convert. Once you have identified low usage area, convert, start defining the UI components. Test and repeat. Ooh, yeah, no, there's no test in my project. Huh. This is a very good guide though. I'll drop this in case anyone wants to read it. This is a very good guide. Ooh, feature flag. I do want to add feature flags. That seems like such a fun thing. And you all said yes to my poll. I'm gonna click end on that, and apparently it just disappears. 10 votes, 100% say yes. Let's do it then. Keep an eye on minimum iOS version. That is a thing. Previews, refactor incrementally. Nah, we're just gonna rewrite. Can you mix them? Yes. Oh yeah, here. Entry point. During the migration process, the requirement to migrate the initial view mirrors the system modification. How how do you determine the minimum iOS version for a project? If it's brand new, like this one, the minimum iOS, because this is actually, I'm building it as a multi-platform application, not a iOS only project, which you probably can't tell, but it is technically. This one, I have it set to general iOS 16 because that's when I started this project. But if it's brand new, I do the latest because I can, because if I'm building just a small app, it doesn't matter. But most people do in -1 or 2. Generally, it's really in -1, so we're at 16 -1. You could release iOS 15, because that is the best thing about iOS development, is that people update their devices. Partially because Apple forces it so much, but honestly, it's people do it anyways. So really, you only have to make an iOS app like in -2 or maybe even 3. So that would go back to iOS 13, which is a lot of why people are talking about SwiftUI even more now, is because it's been so many years that people are upgraded to the point of like the big apps are on, let me even look it up, like YouTube, like the big apps, what their minimum versions are way better on iOS than on Android. So the YouTube application, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, there's a section called compatibility. Yeah, for the iPhone and iPad, they are at iOS 14 and we're only on 16. So they only go 2 versions back, versus on Android, you have to go back like 4, 5, or 6 versions, which is insane because people don't update their devices as much. So it's a thing. So if I'm making a small project, I just do the latest one because I can. But if not, you could do like -1 is almost what you have to do, and that's about it. Because yeah, like I just said, YouTube is on -2. iOS 14 is the most used base version for SwiftUI apps. Yes, that's probably very true. I agree. I would agree with that. I don't know if you just know that or from a stat, but also with that, it's because SwiftUI in iOS 13 was not amazing. So SwiftUI in iOS 14 was way better, and it just has gotten better every year. And then with Dub coming out, we will see if it gets even better than that. So yeah, people have been waiting for it. It hasn't leveled off because they still break things every version, which is really annoying, but it still happens. So because of that, it's still, big companies haven't converted, plus converting a really big code base is really difficult. But with it, you do have to think about compatibility. But yeah, iOS 14, I would believe that's true because it was a lot better to work in SwiftUI in iOS 14 than it was in iOS 13. The entry point, ooh, here, undergone changes. While iOS 13 added support for multiple windows in addition to the app. Oh yeah, iOS 13 did that. That's where we got the scene delegate. Scene delegate is part of the UIKit framework. Interesting. With the release of iOS 14, the new SwiftUI-based app lifecycle, which confused so many beginners, they were very, very confused. Eliminating the requirement for a scene delegate and app delegate. However, the new solution has limitations, requires an increase in deployment target. That makes sense. Who is this? Is this Ish the person I'm thinking of? Oh no, this is actually a different person who I was thinking of. Still looks like a good article though. Yeah, you're welcome. It was kind of a long explanation. But I am gonna end the stream because I have gotta go. I have another meeting to go to. So I'm gonna do that. So if you enjoyed the stream, thank you so much for coming. Ben, thank you. You already left, I know, but thank you so much for buying so many coffees. And thank you to Nathan as well. I appreciate it a lot. And when you buy me a coffee, you see it over that way. You see it on the computer, and you can actually see like your coffee show up, which is super cool, I think. But thank you to everybody. I'm gonna head out because I have lots of other things to do as well today. And then today, the end of the stream, because we started talking about a lot of different things, which is super fun. I do want to do a Q&A sometime. That's kind of fun. Or do just like stream some video game and talk about iOS development. That's always fun. That was one of my first live streams. Um, Kevin, see you all next week. I hope so. I believe I can do next week. We will double check, but follow me on all the social medias that are rotating up there. That is where I announce everything. Mostly it's Twitter and Mastodon lately. I lag sometimes announcing things on Instagram, but that would be where to follow me to see what's happening because I decided to stream last minute. Like this tweet went out like 10 hours prior to streaming. And then for anybody's wondering what we did today, because the end of the stream we were talking about my own app, Job Application Tracker, that I made when I was still a beginner, and how I may switch that to SwiftUI most likely. Oh, I stopped the server so this page does not load. That's funny. But what we did today was actually add a new expense. We updated some of the endpoints to use the to use account.encodeResponse, this function, encode response. So this allows us to use the global encoder and decoder that I had because that was what we needed to set a global date decoding strategy of ISO 8601, which is really nice. So we don't actually have to manually set that for every request that we do. We can actually just use the global encoder decoder. And when we use encode response, we can return our own custom status code as well, which was super, super nice. And then we fixed a couple things on the iOS app. We were finally able to create an expense the proper way. And then hopefully the next time was going to be updating the accounts. But yeah, I might start doing some more of this offline because literally you all have seen everything. Like, you have seen every line of code that I've ever written for this project because I've actually not worked on it at all outside of streaming. But this has been wild. I want to do a 20th stream just to say there's a 20th stream, so maybe that'll be the next one, or maybe I might do that sometime throughout the week or something. But yeah, that's what we did here. Let me check. Oh, we have not committed something. So I will do that, but that's what we have done throughout all of this stream, and then we started talking about converting projects from from UIKit to SwiftUI. So that seems like a super fun stream to do, and I'll have to find a time that I want to do that because that seems like it could be a lot of fun. But yeah, thank you for everybody for dropping by, and I will see you in the next stream. Bye.